So, warm good afternoon and welcome to one and all here for a webinar on how to identify a product or service for business. Now, I request our director, Dr. K. Samuel, to welcome the participants and the chief guest and share a few words on the topic.
So, good afternoon to one and all present here. It's a great time to be here on the Entrepreneurship Club. And on behalf of Entrepreneurship Development Club of HICET Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, I would like to welcome our resource person, Mr. Sam Jaikumar, Field Coordinator, EDII, IEDP Hub, Anna University Regional Campus, Coimbatore. Welcome you, sir, for being here and to share your knowledge with our student friends today. On behalf of ED Club, I also welcome all the faculty members and all the student friends who are here on today's session. Today, we are going to discuss one of the very, very important topics that is related to the product or service. How will you identify the product or service, right? So there are two contexts before our resource person speaks. I would like to set the two contexts into a picture, right? So the first context is because of the product, I become successful. This is one category of people. And there are other category of people, if you give any product, they will make it successful, right? So which is going to happen, how it's going to happen, and how people are going to be successful, it's all a $1 million question, right? So how do we approach this topic, right? Product or a service, how do we identify a product or a service? So there may be many sources of identification, our associations, our interests and all those things. But many people get a product in accident, right? They start a business with a product within an accident and then they also become very successful. So what is the context and how it has to be dissected and what we need to understand related to these products and services, all these things has to be deliberated in today's session. I think our resource person is handling these types of issues regularly. And he's into this hub, and he would have seen many products which is emerging from the labs, right? So with these very few introduction, I would like to hand over the session to the chief guest, right? A resource person. So thank you once again for being here.
Thank you, sir. So before we hand over it to Mr. Sam, sir, we have Vinesh, student of second year MBA, to introduce your resource person.
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Myself, Vinesh, a learner of Department of MBA of Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology, Coimbatore. So I am up here to proceed my duty to introduce our chief guest of today's program. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You can continue when you can introduce the chief guest.
Okay, ma'am. So today I am up here to proceed my duty to introduce our chief guest of today's program, Mr. Sam Jaikumar. So hello, sir. Okay. While I was looking into the profile, most cherishing lines I got from his profile was striking in my eyes. His aim, vision, and vision. He aims to create a budding entrepreneurs and nourish the spirit of the entrepreneurship in the mind of the youngest and provoking it into the process of entrepreneurship in the way. So that's what our country was really deserving. So I think that's a great thing. A man with a vision of focus to the future of a country or a region that shows the greatness. So I'm coming to the academic achievements. He got a bachelor degree in 2005-2009 as a BE Electrical Engineering and Communication from Anna University, Chennai, and a master program in MTech Nanoscience and Technology from Anna University, Chennai. Also, he is doing ongoing a doctoral degree in biomedical imaging from 2017. So I welcome you to this program in behalf of my institution and the best wishes for your futuristic journey. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vinesh. So now the session is over to the resource person. Sir, you can take over.
Okay. First of all, a warm afternoon, especially for the Coimbaturians. And before I could start the session, I just want to express my sincere gratitude to the HOD of MBA department for having a nice words with us. And I would like to thank the Dr. Kamala Saravanan sir for your participation over here, as we came to know for our on your earlier programs, and you are very well coordinated with this, and you are also getting benefited out of the program organized by EDITN, and the experience always guides the students. So in that way, I just welcome you for the session, sir. And thank you, Unish, for your nice introduction. And thank you, Ganimli ma'am, for giving an opportunity to share our thoughts on how to identify a product or services in business. Okay, so before I can start this session, I just need some active participation uh, from any streams, right? I hope the streams are belonging to MBA, and I could find some 103. So I thought 103 and 105 or belongs to uh, the engineering core branches. I think so, and quite a few participants from civil. So before I can start a session and giving some presentation over here, I just want to start off with a question. So what are all the problems that you are facing today? I'll repeat. What are all the problems that you faced today, starting from morning 7 a.m. or from 6 a.m.? So what are all the difficulties that you have faced today? You can either unmute or you can use the chat box. Both are convenient to me. Vinish, pandemic, fine.
Students, be interactive, either unmute or post in the chat. The challenges you face right from the morning. Please do answer.
Don't think it's a small issue because you may think it of it's a smaller one, but to someone else it's quite important. No issues. I can wait for a few minutes so to receive answers from you.
So for the students, I think it's a virtual class will be a problem.
Oh. Mm. Better you can unmute and say that. Okay, if there is any network issues from your side. Okay, I hope I will receive some more answers from you. Let me start with Vinish, right? As Vinish rightly said, right, I am facing a pandemic for almost, it starts by March 2020, and right now we are in the September, mid of September of 2021. Still, we are facing the same issue. So, Vinish, what kind of challenges that you could face in this pandemic?
So, for the students, I think virtual classes are the most challenging things we have faced during this period.
Okay. Okay. For the virtual classes, I think I can take away this particular topic, which is an FTF, right? Yeah, face-to-face interaction is missing over here because of the virtual classes. And what happens at the end of this is the loss of concentration and the brainstorming at the particular discussion point is also missing. When you are in the live classes, it all happens. And this way, this particular pandemic will leads you to be in that particular aspect. The virtual classes is quite boring, or the virtual classes is not yet essential for you, and I cannot able to listen on that. I am facing so many difficulties in terms of health perspectives. So likewise, there are so many issues with respect to VCs. Okay. So why I'm asking you all the questions to you is before I'm going to show you some presentations and other things. I just need some real examples from the participants. So that's why I thought you to answer for my question. If you want me to wait, I will also wait for a couple of minutes. I can. I thought my screen is visible. So if you put it in a chat window, or you can unmute. Thank you, Nadia. It's visible. At last, I got some answers, right? Thank you so much for your concern. Okay, I hope you will answer to my questions once we get through this presentations and other things. Okay, and quite surprisingly, as ma'am said, right, sir, our webinar topic belongs to the how to identify a product or service for a business, and I'm really happy because it's a need of the hour. Because everyone will look into a product that will become success in the market, and the product that is going to be ruin the entire market, or the product which is at the development stage. So in these three categories, people will look into the market. So apart from this, there arises a question in my mind while looking at this topic: how to identify a product or a services for a business. So that's always quite interesting. So how to identify a product? So there are so many number of ideas are there, and so many number of products are there. how to identify that particular product that is suitable for me or suitable for a business. So that paves the way for this webinar topic. I think so there may be a discussion point between the heads of the departments and as well as with the EDC coordinator, and they come up with the topic. I thought like that. So in that way, I can start off with this. So as I said earlier, this always there is an uncertain feeling when you want to be an entrepreneur. Sir, what does it mean? So whether I need to be in prediction? No. Uncertainty is the key aspect of an entrepreneur, because as we start on, or when you are in a position to start off with an idea, that idea itself will have a various dimensions. So how can I able to narrow down those things? So there arises a question. So we will look into all those aspects one by one. So I will start off with this. And nobody said it was easy, and no one ever said it would be this much hard or this hard. There's a quote that I would like to say that to you, right? It's a kind of field you should think it of. It may be an easy for someone else, and it may be tough for someone else. You cannot prejudge whether it may be easy or whether it may be too hard. It depends on the way that you are choosing your idea or the way you are going to implement your idea. It all matters. Okay. And starting off with that, an entrepreneur, maybe for this topic, I will come to this later on. Who is an entrepreneur from your perspective? Okay, on the first, straight away hitting on the target, how to identify a product. Before identifying a product, as a famous quote led by Theodore Levitt, the people don't want to buy a quarter-inch drill, but they want a quarter-inch hole. So in this way, people like us will let the students to think of in that perspective. You need to know what you are going to solve. Just for an example, I could take it off an example from a water doctor. I hope you will have a water doctor in your institution and as well as in your homes in terms of reverse osmosis, right? What are all the problems that you are facing in this water management system, that is water doctor and as well as in the reverse osmosis, an RO? Can anyone please answer to my question? I will repeat. Let me take or let me simplify the question in that way. So what are all the problems that you can face it in the RO system in your home? நம்ம வீட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய ஆர்ஓ வாட்டர்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய வாட்டர் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் சிஸ்டம்ல நம்ம என்னென்ன மாதிரி ஒரு ப்ராப்ளம்லாம் நம்ம ஃபேஸ் பண்றோம்? Yeah, I got some answers, right? Yes. From Nadia. Oh, sorry. Civil 2010-3014. Your voice is breaking. And am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, from Nadia, it is filter. And from MBA.
That is Surya Prasad.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Surya Prasad, the pH value indifference, if filter is not cleaned, and filter has to change frequently and service has to be provided from a CSC student. And Vinny Shore, refilling cost. Okay, thank you so much. I got some more answers from all of you, right? Okay, let me talk to you in a simpler perspective, right? Let us take the first one, filter. The filter is the problem that, Nadia, if you are here, you can unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What kind of problem that you can face it in the filter?
In my home, the locality we stay, the pH level, the salt water is more, which we use
Okay.
to drink. So the RO tank which we fill with that water, the filter has to be changed frequently, like by 6 months or 8 months, we have to change it once. So that is the
Okay.
problem we face in the RO water filter.
What is the cost of the filter?
It's around 6,000, sir.
6,000.
Yes.
Well, plus service charges, right?
Yes, sir. Plus service charge.
Okay, approximately can you take it down as 7,000 rupees?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nadia. And Surya Prakash, as Nadia said, the same thing, pH value indifference, filter is not clean, and filter has to change frequently. So I can correlate these three answers. Refilling cost from Vinish to load 10 water, nearly 30 liter water will be waste. Okay, more waters. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, go ahead, please. From 49, 2011, 3049. Please go ahead. So, do you want to say me something? Okay, fine. No problem. So, we thought to discuss on this aspect. And with respect to Nadia, Suri Prakash, and from the student from CEC, and from Vinish, and from a civil student, let us take these two major problems. Filter has to be changed, and that means I can take it in a different perspective. The water wastage is quite high. So these two are the predominant factors. So can I take it as a problem? Can I take this as a major problem? From any one of you? Yes. Thank you, Nadia and Vinish, right? So I hope this kind of problem is worth to solve. If I take Coimbatore alone, just for an example, 3.5 lakh or 4 lakh people who are living here. So we thought of the common problem arised in each and every house will be approximately 30% to 40% of that. If we came up with a solution for this particular problems, two major problems, am I able to commercialize? That's the next question that comes into my mind. I'll repeat. If I have a solution for this frequency of filters, or I have a solution to reduce the water wastage, then that particular problem is faced by so many people in the Coimbatore. Just for an example. Then obviously is the problem of what to solve. Am I able to getting commercialized? Yes, you can also getting commercialized with the help of various funding agencies in the state and as well as in the center. Okay. So why I can ask you this question is because of brainstorming a particular topic, you will came to know that what is the problem that you could face in the day-to-day life, and taking that problem as a challenge and try to resolve that problem. That particular problem will pave the way for a particular student to become an entrepreneur. Okay. So, sir, what is the relation, sir, to be an entrepreneur, and what is the relation to identify a product or a business? Yes, that's always a slight line of differences. Sir, what does it mean in the sense there are so many ideas that comes into my mind to reduce the frequency of filter change and as well as the reduction of water wastage. And that way we could brainstorm and come up with a possible solution. By arriving a possible solution, you could identify a product or a service for a business. Okay. Then I don't want to take much of your time and straight away getting into this. So that's what I could suggest here. You may be looking for a solution and that most people need it, or you may be looking for a solution that no one needs. So there are probabilities. So what I can suggest to you is there are so many number of problems arises from your experience or a patient that you have already. And I just want to quote an example. And Emma Bridgewater is the biggest poultry in UK. She went to a China shop to buy a gift for his cousins. So what happens is, obviously, he doesn't like any product in the shop. So what he thought to do is, why can't we have a unique selling pottery shop in UK? So that's his idea, and that's her idea, and obviously it hits in the market. And right now, she is one of the biggest pottery in the UK. So that's way you can take her as an example. So as I said earlier, by bringing out those experiences, I could identify with the basic questionnaires in my mind. So what are the questionnaires that comes into my mind is, if suppose I can take this as a problem in an RO, I could think it of rapidly changing up the filter will cost around some 7,000 rupees here. Then approximately, for an example, it takes period of 6 months. For an year, it cost around some 14,000 rupees. I could think it of is a problem that I am facing in my day-to-day life. Yes, obviously that's a kind of thing that you could face it in the day-to-day life or the patient that you have. And the second question that you could ask to yourself is the problem worth enough to solve? It based on the customer reviews or the customer's persona, because the filter changing is always happens in everyone households. And obviously it costs around, maybe the amount may vary, it depends on the machines. So that kind of problem is worth enough to solve. And the third question that you can put forth to you is, how does the problem occur? Whether I have to change a filter or I have to replace an additional feature within a span of 2 months or 3 months or 6 months. So really it's a worthable problem to solve. But how does it often occurs? That's a third question you could ask to yourself. And the fourth and primary questions is what are the customers? Obviously, if you take up the concept of eliminating this frequency of changing this filter, then obviously the target customers in the Coimbatore region, as I said earlier, 30 to 40% of the 4 lakh community. So in this way, you could identify your first step of the product identification or the service identification. Sir, what is the difference between a product and a service? I will come to that later part. Don't worry about that. First of all, we can take up a product. It is quite easy for you to understand for a service. Okay. And the next question, okay, any doubts? So before I could move on to the next, do you need some clarifications? You can use a chat box or you can unmute and ask. Okay, let me proceed. Let me give you a simple example. If a person is suffering from diabetic, let us take an example. If a person is suffering from diabetic, you could think it of whether your idea is to give away a vitamin tablet, or our idea is to design a vitamin tablet or a painkiller. So in that way, you could ask yourself, right? And you could decide on anything. That depends on the ideology that you have. Let me ask you a question. So how far this kind of idea are easy to monetize? In simpler context, how far you could generate a revenue? Whether it is easy to generate a revenue. That's the next question that I would like to suggest to you. Whether your idea will be easy to monetize, and whether your idea can be explained in a simple words. Just for an example, I could say that to you, right? Let us take LG TV. So LG TV will have a motto, will have a keyword, life is good. It's quite simple. Once you watch the TV, your life will be good. So in simplest way, they can sell their products. So do you think it's quite important? Yes, it's quite important to market a product. And the next thing, whether you are personally relevant to the problem, you will have an idea, as rightly said by Nadia and the person from the CSC, right? The water wastage. And you personally think it of 30 liters of water are used, 30 liters of waters are wasted from a single house. As I said earlier, from 3 lakh to 4 lakh community, 30%. 30% of the households are wasting 30 liters of water per day. Then you could think it of what is the wastage of water. So I thought it is personally relevant too. So I have to think it of again in a perspective, who are my target customers? And what way I could estimate myself on the upper level and as well as in the lower level. And the last thing I would like to suggest to you is the uniqueness in your idea. So how unique it should be. Because the uniqueness is the one that would comes to you for selling a product. So whatever may be the context that you could think it of in an idea, that particular uniqueness should always be there. So uniqueness or innovativeness, or you could call it as an inventions. So the secret sauce is the uniqueness. So in this way you could think it of an idea to be validated. So you could think it of in that aspect. Let me come to the same example. Solve a customer pain point. So like like the 5 individuals said, they are facing a pain points in changing the filters. It would cost around some 7,000 rupees, the wastage of water. So in this way, I can take this as a challenge and come up with the solution for the challenge and develop an idea. And from that idea, you could channelize the idea of converting an idea into a prototype. So this is an effective way to develop a product. You could think of analyzing a customer pain point from somewhere else is not an easiest task, but obviously of analyzing a pain point from your households or from your neighbors or from mother or father or from sisters or someone else is quite easy. And try to abstract those customer pain points. And it came out. So how this customer pain points will be came out is because of having some frustrating experience with the current selection of products. Just for an example, as said by them, right? I would like to purchase an RO system which costs around some 6,000 to 7,000 rupees. But for a let me take it up in some other way, right? If I have a plan to purchase an RO system worth 7,000 rupees, and it will give you a good TDS level, that means a good drinking water. Then what I will do is I will have a tendency to buy that, and after 6 months to 1 year, my maintenance cost. I'm thinking of the maintenance cost. I'm thinking of the quality of the product, right? And I'm thinking of what are all the additional features that I need to do, and I'm thinking of what are all the environmental conditions that are required for this product. So in that way, I could think of before buying a product, and taking off all the assurance from the manufacturers or from the suppliers, and it fails at some point of time. So there arises a frustrating experience with the selection of products. So you could notice all those things. and try to find the competitive advantage of the product that you are going to develop in line with the existing products, because that's always essential. I will repeat, if you have an idea, try to get us away or try to analyze yourselves with the existing line of products. Okay. Let me come to an interesting example, right? Hamley's Toy Shop. I hope you are all aware, right? Hamley's Toy Shop. Okay. யாருமே கேள்விப்பட்டது இல்லையா? Okay, fine. From an MBA student, right? Thank you. Hamley Toy Shop is in Brookfields. I thought it's on third floor. You could get a variety of toys from Hamley's Toy Shop. Why I'm taking this as an example is, yeah, thank you, Monica. Okay, let me start with the discussion from this too. Okay, no problem, Inish. And sir, 20206042 MBA student, can you unmute?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And what kind of toy that you could say it in Hamley's Toy Shop?
Well, sir, it's a diverse option. So you have from the minimum prices to toys varying to 20,000, 30,000. They have a variety of collection.
Okay, fine. And the other aspects?
Their products are not just cheap. I mean, the products that they display on market won't be those cheap plastic or Chinese quality, even though majority comes from China. It won't be of cheap quality, and they have a good customer support and experience service. Rather than you go to a normal shop and buy the product, they don't give you warranty or anything. But here, if you have any technical damage or something, you can give it back and you can get a warranty claim or new one from there.
Thank you.
So customers are having a different experience.
And what's your name? Good name?
Surya.
Surya. Thank you, Surya. And Monica? LEC 13 Monica M. Monica? Okay, all right. Again to Surya. So, Surya, do you hear a pet toy shop in Coimbatore? Did you hear anywhere in Coimbatore? Yeah, if you find, do you have a chance to find any pet toy shop in Coimbatore?
There are, but only the normal ones that like in the nearby places.
Thank you. No problem, Monica. You can use a chat box. Because of the network problem, you may not able to answer. No issues. You can use a chat box. Did you find any a unique toy shop in Coimbatore for kids? To Monica.
Sir, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, ma'am.
Most of the students here are not from Coimbatore and they are very new because first year they were purely in online classes.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you can expand the geographical location and ask them.
No problem. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for
Fine.
that.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, I will take off the word Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. did you find any unique toy shop in Tamil Nadu? Monica, the question is for you. You can use the chat box. Okay, no problem. Why I could ask this question to you is, it's quite simple. Rightly said by Surya, when you go for a Hamleys toy shop, because of the brand, there is a perception in your mind. The quality of the product is high, and you could have a tendency to purchase a product starting from the lower prices to the higher prices as well in a single toy shop. And you could analyze something on Hamleys toy shop. Personally, I can analyze. There is no unique kind of, for an example, in a perspective I could think of a unique toy. Just for an example, I just want to buy an electric car for a kid. I have a plan to buy an electric car which is smaller in size for a kid of age group of 7 to 8. Then there is no choice at all. Why I could say that to you is, an electric car cost around some 12,000 to 13,000 rupees for a kid. Averagely, I could say that in an online or somewhere else, you could find it out. Averagely, it comes around some 12,000 to 13,000 and up to 50,000 rupees. So there is no unique toy shop which will cater the needs of the young brains. So that's a opportunity for a toy shop. And the next opportunity for identifying a product, especially in Coimbatore and as well as in Chennai and Madurai and Trichy, there is no unique pet toy shops in this metro cities. So this is also an opportunity for you. So that's why I raised a question to you, because to address this issue, because I have personally experiencing those problems. So at this moment, I just want to share this idea to these young brains. You may also come up with the startups. Okay. And the next, if I have a valid idea of solving an issue in the reverse osmosis system, to design a filter which will last for 2 years or 3 years without any service supports from the companies or as well as from an individual. So I thought of creating a product, and in that aspect, I thought to brainstorm with my neighbors and as well as with the faculties and as well as with my friends. There are so many number of solutions. There are so many number of ideas that comes into these young brains, and out of that, I want to think of how to refine those things. It is always an easiest process, because when you are in a group of people who always gives an idea, there is always a greater chance to refine that particular solutions. I will repeat: if there is a group of people who will give an idea on a particular challenges or a problem, then that particular group is also able to solve that particular, that means to refine that particular solutions. In that way, you can validate your ideas. The first and foremost is, you can brainstorm that particular possible solutions with the group that you're willing to share. In that way, you could find there is a refining and validation. Sir, how can you able to validate those ideas? Okay, let me give you a simple example. Marketplace in Facebook and marketplace in Instagram. I hope you are also aware, right? I think from an MBA student, it's a valid question to ask to you. What please mean by landing page? Landing page. Okay, no problem. Okay, it's a page that can be created from Vinish, a website on which link will get landed. Okay, Vinish, it is not something on that. A landing page is created at the back end of your Instagram page or the Facebook page that will analyze the data. Just for an example, on September 1st, college is going to get reopened on September 1st of 2021. That's a news that being telecasted in the month of August end, probably on the 30th and 31st. And what you could think it of when you open a Facebook page or an Instagram page, there are so many number of memes scrolling here and there. Am I right? And based on the interest from a customer or from a client, you could think it of watching a particular memes or watching a particular concept in a Facebook or watching a particular theme in an Instagram page. So based on that, you will take up all the data. So there arises a landing page. So landing page will retrieve all the customer persona and try to validate your ideas. Okay. And based on that, you can do the trial and run process. That is what we call it as a pivot and replan. And based on that, you can do some research and identifying the market size and the opportunities for the probable product that you are going to get commercialized. So in that way, you can do the validation process. Okay. So as early said, for Instagram and Facebook page, you should cope up with or you should capitalize with the trends early. So that is what I could suggest. Whatever may be the kind of business that you are going to do in terms of product or service, you should aware of the trends. So how to recognize the trends? So you could ask to me, right, sir, how to recognize the trends earlier? So it's very simple. And the first and foremost is, without a digital network, in the earlier days, we could find the gossips or the trending topics, right? And nowadays, the gossips will comes in a different way called as hashtags on the Twitters and as well as in the Facebook. Not to an extent, don't think it of in some other way. I am taking up in a positive aspect. These hashtags or trending hashtags on the Twitters or alas in the topics on the Facebook or the social listening. Let me take you a simple example. How many of you are aware the Paralympic gold medals in the year of 2017? How many Paralympic gold medals won by Indian athletics or from any other games in the year of 2017? Including me, none of us remember. Am I right? But nowadays, when the event happens at the next minute or at the within a fraction of 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we came to know that it's a trending topic in the hashtags on the Twitters and as well as in the Facebook. Niraj Chopra. Am I right? So let us take let us take the positive aspects in this social media, and then you could think of how to trend that. Okay. And the next is, I just call this one as a Google Trends and a Trend Hunter. Based on the technological concepts using an AI and ML, you could analyze the data from the humans and try to give away some insights and opportunities for the young for the young brains to come up in the market. And the last and final thing I just want to suggest to you on this trends is visit the popular page where the people are there. If suppose I want to create some awareness on an entrepreneurship development and innovation institute as my institution, so what I supposed to do is I have to create a link and post it on my Instagram page of EDITN. Then obviously it reaches out some 19 to 20 lakh people within a minute. So in that way, I could think it of. There are so many number of young brains in Instagram and as well as in Facebook. So if suppose I just want to market something, then I need to choose this kind of platform where the people are bursting. Okay. And taking on the dream team that you want to take on to develop a product. As I said earlier, you need a CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Business Officer, and a Chief Marketing Officer, and a Chief Technological Officer, and a Chief Development Officer. So in that way, you could develop your teams. I hope that's a latter part. And as I said earlier, for a landing page, for a customer persona and a customer validation, and what I can suggest to you is, if you are not well versed with that, creating a landing page in a Insta or a Facebook, what I can suggest to you is you can semi-fictionally represent an individual. For an example, as said by Mr. Surya, sir, the quality of a product in a Hamleys toy shop is good, and the maximum we can reach out to 20,000 rupees. There is a toy is available in Coimbatore and as well as in others. Chennai is also. And I could suggest to you, right, a semi-fictional representation of an idea is, as I suggested earlier, there is no unique toy shops in Coimbatore and as well as in metro cities, as far as my knowledge is concerned. And the second problem I could understand from the customer perspective is there is no pet toy shop in these metro cities. So I can take up these problems and I can create a fictional representation who are my target customers and how they behave to that. So in that way, I could think it of and try to retrieve that kind of semi-fictional representations based on their educational background, on their personal demographics, and their job role. Right? And you can validate on their identity also. So these are the key aspects of validating an idea or idea in terms of a landing page and as well as in terms of fictional representations. Okay. I don't want to get you bored on saying more things on the marketing and other aspects. So let me straight away to this services. As I said earlier on the starting of this presentation, the product and the service is not something different. Just for an example, as we all purchase something on an Amazon or a Flipkart or any other online portal. Let me ask you a simple thing, right? What is the kind of service that Amazon or web services, Amazon or Flipkart or any other online shopping will experience to the customers? On the first, if you are willing to search something, for an example, I thought to search to purchase a new mobile phone with the specifications of 8 GB of RAM, with a storage space of 128 GB, with the camera specifications of 64 megapixels, with a depth camera and an AI intelligent automatic controls. So likewise, I thought of purchasing a new mobile phone. So what I can get it from this service-based industry is, obviously when you can search on this product, what happens is there is a background work that is being done, which we call it as a search engine optimization. Nowadays it is called as SaaS. I hope the CSC student will aware of that. SaaS. So what they can do is they will redirect to the particular they will redirect to their web page where this kind of products are being compared, or the products are being listed for purchasing, or the products that are being reviewed earlier, or the products that is being in par with the product in the same brand. So likewise, we will have a categorized. I will repeat, a product being manufactured by Samsung, Oppo, or any other manufacturers, but the service industry will determine how far the product is going to be, or how far the product will ruin the markets. So the service industry is also having an equal importance with respect to the marketing. Okay, I will give you a simple example. Let us take the same example of buying a mobile phone. What I can suggest to you is, before buying a mobile phone, what we can do is, based on the reviews from the outside channels and reviews from the channel that you are going to buy a mobile phone, and also you can watch some digital channels and their reviews. So based on the reviews, you could think it of these are the value addition for these products. Am I right? Let us take the same thing before we produce a product. Read the reviews on the existing products and try to analyze what are the challenges faced by the customers. And the second thing is, find your opportunities in the keywords. Sir, what does it mean, keywords? When you search it on a Google, how could you identify? Just for an example, Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology. If in the case, that kind of information is also being searched by someone else in somewhere location. Once you enter Hindustan, then it obviously comes up: Hindustan College, Hindustan Institute, Hindustan Hospitals. So like this, there are so many things. Once you type on the next letter, so it depends on the keywords that is being given in the SEOs and the SEAs. So then obviously it will highlight the products or the websites that is being available in the search engines. In the same way, I could think it of what are all the keywords that is being searched on my product. That means, if suppose I just want to design a filter, then what are all the keywords that is being searched for a filters? That's the next thing that I want to get it from. Take it as an input for my product. And the third perspective, what we suggest for you is, what is trending in online marketplaces based on the product that you are going to develop. And the fourth thing I would like to suggest is, choose a product or choose an idea which will have a high profit margins, because smaller margins need some volume business. Your volume business needs some constructive mechanisms, and the constructive mechanisms need dependent on a labors. So on an young age, you need some experiences to handle these things. So that's why I can suggest you to research a products with a higher profit margins and how they can generate the revenue. Utilize those mechanisms, utilize those strategies for your ideas, and try to start your search with that kind of related products. And the last thing I would like to suggest for you is, you should be always aware of the global environment. That's what I could say that to you, right? Always be on the lookout, because that will help you to convert your idea into your product that means converting your idea into a successful product in the market. So I hope this kind of information will help you to commercialize your products and as well as converting your idea into a product. So in this way, I could suggest all those things to you. I don't want to take much of your time. I'm open to answer to your questions. Yeah. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask to me, and then I can. Yes, Jibin. I thought you will have some questions.
Jibin, can you post your question in the chat if you have some?
Okay. We will move on to the next person. Any questions? And one suggestion to the HICET student civil 20103025, and to reduce the water wastage, we will have I have an idea. Try to create an RO mechanisms in the running tap waters, like an adapters that we can use it for providing extensions to the tubes and as well as for the other things. In the same manner, we can use some extensions for getting a purified water from the running tap. So in that way, you can reduce the water wastage, and also you will get a purified water. If I want to add some more point, to be in precise, there are 7 layers of mechanism to purify water. Sirvani water is getting purified on the Hansen technique, which we call it as a 7-layer mechanisms. So if you have any chance, please visit Sirvani water purification system. Then you will come up with the possible idea of converting a prototype for a running tap water. ஓகே, ஒன்னா புரிஞ்சிருக்கணும் எல்லாத்துக்கும். அப்ப யாருக்குமே புரியலன்னு அர்த்தம். 2 தான் ஆப்ஷன்ஸ். கொஸ்டினே இல்லைன்னா அப்ப அதான் அர்த்தம். நல்லா புரிஞ்சிச்சோ?
Students, post some reply in the chat. Was the session clear to you? You don't have any questions? How do we take it up? Was it clear? Say yes or no, something in the chat.
Oh, thank you, Manish. So starting from this, you have replied to all this.
I hope it was clear to everyone, sir.
No problem, ma'am.
So, like, we'll have a formal vote of thanks and we'll close up, or you want to discuss with
yes. We can. No, ma'am. We will. Yeah, I just post my our official website. Just have a look on that. If you need any help, please contact the EDC coordinator, respected Kanimuli ma'am, and as well as with the other EDC department coordinators. And on this platform, I forgot to thank Bhaskaran sir, from the Department of ECE. If you have any doubts, he is also very good on that. So please contact him. So that may help you out to start up on your own. Okay, just have a look on this website. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. So, on behalf of Hindustan College of Engineering and Technology and Entrepreneurship Development Cell, I extend my sincere thanks to the resource person, Mr. Sam Jaikumar. So, thank you, sir, for sharing your valuable inputs on how to start a product or how to identify a product or service for a business. Right. So, whatever you shared, like it is part of design thinking, I hope, where like we have to put ourselves, empathize on some problem, we come out with an idea, we try to come with novel ideas, test it, and come up with a product or service. So thank you for sharing your valuable inputs. Hope our students have a greater learning from your presentation. So thank you for being with us, sir. So we'll soon meet up with the next webinar on a different topic. Thank you for being with us. I also extend thanks to our director, the management, all the student participants who have been here for the past 1 hour and patiently listening and interacting during the session. So thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Karnagaran, sir. The last but not the least, I know him personally. Thank you, Karnagaran, sir, for granting permission to organize such a session. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, participants. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Participants, feedback form will be posted in the chat now. You can just fill it up and your certificates will reach you in a couple of days, right? You can stay here. I'll be posting the feedback link. You can just check into the feedback link, fill it up. Just a minute. Yes, so the feedback link is posted in the chat, so please do fill it up. So your certificates will reach you based on your attendance. Thank you all.